The Fillmore Central Falcons with a very nice win last Friday night over at Lewiston Altura, 35-14. Head coach Chris Mensink joining us. And coach, just look at it from an offensive efficiency standpoint. You had 8 possessions in that game. You scored 5 touchdowns. One of them was the end of the game. So really 5 of your 7 possessions you were able to score. I'd imagine it's tough to get more efficient than that offensively.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. That was kind of the story of the game, and that was the emphasis of the week was our focus, especially on offense and execution. We converted a couple big fourth down plays. You talk about efficiency. I think Bryden was 12 for 16 for 182 and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. So you win that stat, and you're efficient and you put the ball in the right spots and is making the right reads, and kids are making the plays when it comes their way. So like you said, we started on defense and gave up a score right away, and we were down. So the response from our kids to respond with a 5-play, 69-yard touchdown. And like you said, we scored on every possession in the first half, including a 2-minute drill there right before half, and knowing we got the ball to come out of the second half. But that was good to carry that momentum into the half and get the ball to start the second. So you look at some individual performances too on the offensive side, rushing the ball. We really leaned on Kane Larson, carried the ball 31 times. We haven't had a back carry the ball 31 times. He's kind of our bruiser and had 140 yards. So, and to finish the game, like you say, that last drive, our defense bent a couple times, but stopped them on 1st and goal. I think in 2 different possessions, got the ball back and were able to get it out of that situation. And a lot of that was Kane and our offensive line. We definitely had a size advantage, and to lean on them and carry that out and move the chains and burn that clock to finish the game was impressive, and how you want to see our kids react. So, and on the receiving end, we had Anthony Keeney, who caught 6 balls for 67. A lot of those were bubble passes, extension of the run game. Not a real big kid, but boy, he's a hard physical runner and finished some runs and got some big first downs and conversions for us. And then Greg Kennedy, what a performance. 4 catches for 122, and 3 of those were for touchdowns. So he continues to be a weapon in the special teams game and the return game on offense and defense. So very proud of our kids' execution for sure.
And looking at the overall offense, 398 yards of total offense, 190 rushing, 208 passing. Can't get a lot more balance than that. Did you feel that you were going to be confident moving the football both on the ground and through the air last Friday?
Well, I think that's something that we hang our hat on. This team like we said, the strength of our team is our offensive line, and we got some skill guys to go with it. So defenses, we've seen a lot of different things from defenses this year to try to take certain things away. So to have the athletes in the offensive line that we do, I think Coach Todd has done a great job of mixing run and pass and taking what the defense has given us. So like I said, we have to be able to run that ball effectively. I think that's the key. If our run really sets up that pass this year, whereas in the previous years, maybe our pass has set up some runs. So it's different team, different approach, but same result. You want to be as balanced as you can. So very proud of that.
You mentioned you gave up a touchdown on the initial drive of the game, a 15-play, 63-yard drive for Lewiston Altura, but things clicked defensively after that. What do you credit that to?
Well, I credit, first of all, we talked about special teams, and we gave them a shorter field. They were starting at the 45-yard line or whatever it was. So you give a team a short field, you're putting your defense in a hole right away. And that they run the wing tee, and the way they run the wing tee, it's hard to simulate that during the week, to get a good look at that. So, getting up to speed on the speed of how that happens and the reads and things like that, I think, is a little bit of a shock maybe to our defense right away on how they're executing, because obviously that's their style, and it's a tough offense to defend. You really got to get your eyes right. If you get caught in the backfield looking at the wrong thing, you can get caught out of position. So I think we made a few adjustments. We started in a 5, we're moving to a 4. We weren't expecting them to cut our nose like that, and so credit to our defense and the adjustments that they made to as the game moved on to shut that down.
This week, you play a Thursday game. You're going 6 days between games, and with the schedule and with high school football the way it is right now, the Friday night regular games aren't a guarantee anymore. How do you adjust practice this week, knowing the fact that you got one less day to get ready?
Yeah, you do. We still had a JV game last night, so Monday practice is Monday practice. You have your numbers are down, and those kids got to get time on the field too. So they had a great game last night. So yeah, it's a short week. We basically got 2 days. So you got one good day of practice and a walkthrough. So the good thing is it's at home, so we get another home game. It's our final seniors' final home regular season game. But as you look down the road, I think it's a good thing because of, like you said, the schedule of a Thursday, then you go a Wednesday, then you go a Tuesday. So uh, the, the name of the game at this time of year is keeping those kids' bodies right and keeping them healthy and trying to reduce as much stress on them as you can. So at this time of the year, your practices should be a little shorter. It comes down to more you're a little less on techniques and things, but you're going to work on game planning. So that's kind of where we're at and the nature of the season at this point.
And how much, when you get to this time of the year, is making sure that technique is as good as possible so you don't really have to focus on it this time of year. It's kind of second nature to your guys.
Right, and that's the work they put in the summer and the work you put in fall camp and the work that you've done up to this point. So fundamentals you can never stray too far from because at the end of the day you got to block and tackle. So we've definitely put an emphasis on that and station work throughout the season. So those times will definitely shorten up, but repetition is the mother of learning. You still gotta address those things and look at what you need to touch up from the previous week and readdress those things. So we'll continue to do that.
And Wabasha Keller coming to town Thursday night. What are you expecting?
Yeah, it's a different team. Wabasha's doing some different things offensively, so definitely a different team than we've seen in the past. And preparation for them will be a little different this week. They got a quarterback that can throw the ball and some nice targets on the outside. So it'll be a little different offense than we're used to, but they still do some similar things. So yeah, excited to prepare for them this week.
All right. Hopefully, the final regular season home game finds you well this Thursday night. Coach, keep your guys healthy. We wish you best of luck.
Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it.
Chris Mensink, head coach of the Fillmore Central Falcons. Thursday night football this week against Wabasha Kellogg.